Now, lockdowns across Australia are having an impact on the property market, reducing the number of sellers as inspections vary from state to state. And Flaherty, economist at REA Group, joins me now to discuss the latest in the property world. Now, these lockdowns around the country obviously having an impact, Dan.
Absolutely. Now, the main impact really has been that been a really big reduction in properties available for sale. So, a lot of vendors are being very cautious. They're quite hesitant to bring their properties to sale in the current lockdown market. Now, that's led to a really big reduction in the number of properties selling. However, it's really due down to lack of supply because demand is still so strong in the market. Now, we're seeing views per listing on realestate.com.au actually close to record highs. So there's no shortage of buyers out there. And in fact, we're seeing this being another factor contributing to price growth because buyers are competing for a smaller pool of property at the moment, which means that they're having to put in more competitive offers to be successful.
It's a crazy world, isn't it? It's such an irony that here are people sitting on selling their property, but by sitting on it because of the reasons that are around their lives at the moment, it's making the property worth more money.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very, very strange set of circumstances we have here. I think, as we come into spring as well, it's going to be a real test to see what happens with the market. We might start to see vendors become a little bit more confident to sell when they start to see the success of properties that are on the market at the moment. But, spring in general, we tend to see more properties come up for sale, but with no end in sight for the lockdown in New South Wales and also potentially Victoria as well, you know, people might have to adapt and start to be more confident, bring their properties for sale, just to keep their lives, ongoing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it may just go like a lot of different things are going. Vaccination rates will sort of apply to what happens in the real estate market in a way. Inspections vary state to state.
Yeah, that's another interesting point. So we look to Melbourne and what happened last year as a, indicator or a preview of what's going on in Sydney and what's likely to continue going on in Sydney over the coming month or months as lockdown continues. But a big difference between the states is that in Melbourne at the moment and also during last year's lockdown, physical inspections were completely banned. Everything was online, everything was virtual. But Sydney is much more lenient when it comes to property inspections. So it will be interesting to see if the Sydney market is less impacted than the Melbourne market was in terms of people bringing their properties to sale. And it'll be interesting as well to see what the bounce back will be like when restrictions do finally ease.
Because there's always the doomsdayers saying that, oh, the property prices are going to go down, or, and this is going to happen. It hasn't happened at any marker. It hasn't happened at any month. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. And there's reasons to think that it will continue to kick like a bit of a bull in some places because of what you're saying. Once lockdown does finish around the country and vaccination rates are up and immigration begins again.
You're absolutely right. I think that the price growth that we have been seeing is not over yet. I think that there are a lot of demand drivers in the market that aren't going to go away anytime soon. Interest rates are extremely low. People are stuck at home. Those who are lucky enough to stay employed are saving more money than ever. So once borders do reopen and we have, a growing pool of people competing for Australian property, that's going to have an impact on prices.